back to another episode of Cooking with Rose. So today I'm going to be cooking a pot roast. Here's my pot roast. So I want to just go ahead again. Please subscribe to this channel, like and share these videos, and I hope you all enjoy. Alright, so again, yeah, I got the my meat here. This is I think this is a roast. I'm not sure what cut of meat, but it's a roast. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my stove on, and I got some avocado oil. Alright, so I'm just going to Kinder seasoning, garlic herb with sea salt and lemon. So I think that's going to be interesting because I put, you know, lemon brings out the flavor in a lot of things. So I think that's going to be an interesting taste. I'm just going to take the top off. Get it all down in the cuts. Like that. I think that's very well seasoned. Let me give my hands a wash. So this is about a cup and a half of flour, and I'm going to put some of this Sazon Goyo seasoning pack in the flour. I was going to use 2. Let me see. One may be enough. I believe it will season all this flour, just these little packs. I'm going to go ahead and do 2. Okay. Alright, so now I'm just going to take this flour and I'm going to just sprinkle this on the roast. Missy? Okay, then I'm going to take my hand and just, you know, get it on the side of the roast and down in the creases and just get it to stick. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Alright, so now I got the flour, well, the roast nice and coated with the flour. I'm going to get ready to put it over here in this hot pan with the avocado oil. Okay, so while the roast is browning, I have some onions here. I'm just going to use these to cook this roast, and I'm going to put them down in the bottom of this pot. Okay, I'm going to be letting these onions, you know, heat up in the bottom of this pot. I'm also going to add, what you doing? Add 1 can of water. Okay, so let's see what the other side It's looking alright. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this roast and put it over in this pot. Okay, I want these pieces of the breading that's in this pan. Even though it's not that much, but I want to add that over into this pot with the meat. I'm going to add 1 can of water. Okay, and I want this too that's on the side. All of that helps make the gravy. I'm not worried about heating it up. I just want it to get those little pieces of breading, because I want that added in here. I'm just going to pour this over the top like that. Alright, so really all I need to do is just let this cook. Yeah, so now what I'm going to do is just let this roast simmer here on top of the stove. I estimate probably about almost 2 hours. But I'm going to come back in about an hour or 30 minutes and see how tender the meat, the roast has got. And then I'm going to add some more root vegetables. I'm going to add some carrots. I'm going to add some potatoes. And I'm going to add some more onions. I was going to add celery, but I left that at the grocery store. By the way, my roses, this beef broth here that I use, I got this from Walmart. Alright, my roses, so we're back here. We got the roast here. It's been cooking for about an hour. And I have been doing some things in between time. I have I emptied the original broth that I started with off of this roast, and here it is here. This is it here. Okay, and so the reason I did that is so that I can skim some of the fat off of the original broth that I started out with. And if you do this yourself, you'll see how the fat will float. The fat, you can see the fat right here on the side of your whatever container you pour it in. And so you can just get a spoon like that, and you can skim the fat off of your broth. The fat will always settle to the top. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to share that with y'all. Also, so I got some potatoes here, I've diced, I got some carrots, and I got some onions. And when this roast gets, is it straight? Mm-hmm. When the roast gets tender and fork tender, I'm going to add these root vegetables over here into this broth and let these, I mean, it does not take this stuff long to cook. I'm just going to let it simmer over with the meat until they get fork tender, and then this stuff will be ready to go. So since I have skimmed most of the fat, or the amount of fat off of this broth that I want to, I'm just going to go ahead and add it back into the pot. That's going to help with the gravy and everything. Help with the, with the thickening of the broth. Because remember, I did coat the meat or the roast in my flour, and I pan seared it and then added it before I added it into the pot. So okay, we're just gonna let this go on for about another hour, and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. So the roast has come a long way. I've already added my vegetables, carrots, well, diced carrots, potatoes, and onions over into here, and it's just shredded. Which when I stirred it, I realized, you know, it has done what I was expecting, and then the juice, the broth that it had been cooking in has just turned into like a gravy. And so all we're waiting on here is for the vegetables to just become fork tender. I showed y'all how I took the original broth, poured it off of the meat, and skimmed the fat off, and I poured it back in. And in between that time, I have made some more beef broth, which I used this beef flavor bouillon along with water to and blended that, and I added some seasonings. I added some onion powder, garlic powder. So I added these two, and I added some salt into that, which is what this is here, and then I just poured that over into the stew, the beef stew, to just because the original broth had cooked down extremely low. So let me bring y'all over and let y'all see it. The roast has just become so tender that it's just shredded, and you can see the vegetables, the diced carrots, potatoes, the onions in here, and they are just cooking until they become fork tender, which is the last results that I'm looking to achieve with this meal here. So I'm just gonna put the lid back on, and I'm going to let this cook for about 30-35 minutes till those vegetables become tender, and I'll show y'all this all plated up. Thank you. Stick with me. Alright, my roses, so here is the pot roast. And the vegetables are tender. Yeah, you can just mash the vegetables so you can see that they're tender. All right, and so now I'm gonna show you guys this plated up. I did cook some sides. I cooked some rice. I got some cornbread. Alright, some rice. I got some cornbread. I'm just going to spoon some of the roast. And that's the pot roast with the rice. Alright, I'm just going to give it a taste. Alright, my roses, so I'm going to give this beef stew, I know I've been calling it pot roast, but beef stew and rice a taste. Delicious. That concludes this today's episode of Cooking with Rose. Thank you so much for watching. Please, my roses, subscribe, like, share these videos. I'll see you back next time.